YouTube dropped the stream, and so we had to start again. Not surprised. This happens often when I stream this way. So yeah, hopefully you guys are able to pick me back up over on this side. Yeah. Okay. So I believe I'll give you guys like 2 seconds to hop back in. Okay. Hopefully you guys are catching me. Oh, I do see y'all. Sorry about that, guys. YouTube dropped the stream. And yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. um, let me see. So that's the new one. This must be the old stream. I apologize. Well, I don't even have anything to apologize for because it's not me. It's YouTube. Give me a second here, guys. Okay, so I just dropped the new link of the live into the other stream, just in case. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually not gonna be able to watch the feed because I feel like when I watch the feed and stream at the same time, it probably gets a little bit wonky. So anyway, with that being said, tonight we are talking about travel and how travel is a major part of the level up. This is in coordination with the launch of Travel Alchemy Masterclass. Check the description box below for more information about that video course hosted by the doll, yours truly. It is something that has been 3 years in the making. And I know that those of you who saw us kick that off in 2019 and have been ride or die for our travel content since then will be super excited to see how that has finally been birthed into the world. And you'll be in love with the content, and it'll be super valuable for you as all of us start to embark again on getting back out here to travel and to bringing back the vitality, the passion, the love to our life. And not only the vitality, the passion, and the love to our life, but what we are talking about here tonight in terms of ushering in a new paradigm in your life when you have this deep urge and this deep curiosity to travel, seeing yourself differently, understanding the different stereotypes that come along with who you are when you travel outside of your old or your current circumstances, yeah? And so I believe the feed, y'all might, I don't know, can y'all remind me, but I believe the feed cut off when I was talking about stereotypes and seeing yourself differently, desirability and those types of things when you're outside of the United States. I will also say that coming back to the United States, so if you travel, most of us will only do kind of short travel. But if you do one of these long travels, like where you live there for 6 months or 3 months, there's something that's called reverse culture shock that you are going to have to be prepared for. And it is when your new country still feels like new and not necessarily your own, but then your old country doesn't fit quite as well anymore. And this is something that you have to be prepared for, like when you're coming back. So as I said before, when you travel overseas and you're received really, really well and none of the old stereotypes, fit, and you just creme de la creme and everything's going well for you, and then you have to come back to the United States and still have people talking to you funny and looking at you like you're not who you are and disrespect and all of those types of things, that's when reverse culture shock really sets in. Because that's when you're like, dang, I don't like it here. You know what I mean? Even though it's your home. And then the new place is, obviously you're new there, you know what I mean? So it would take you a lot more years to get settled in. So that's just a little something that if you're planning on any long-term travel, something you might have to combat with. But for this conversation, we are just talking about getting outside of your circumstances for a little bit. For a little bit, even if it's a road trip, like how you see the videos on this channel, or road trip through the United States, or you run down to Mexico, or you run up to Canada, or run down to the Caribbean, you know what I mean, fly down to the Caribbean or so. Those types of things are travel too. This does not have to be some big orchestrated trip to Bali to be impactful, to usher in a paradigm shift, to take you on a spiritual quest, if you will. All right? Clink, clink, clink. Cheers to rolling with the punches. And if the feed cuts out, still getting back on the horse, getting back on the bike, and keep riding. Cheers. Clink, 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 clink. All right. Okay. So, ushering a new paradigm, tapped into a different collective consciousness, reinventing yourself. Okay. Spiritual seeking, growth, and all of that. And then seeing yourself outside of the stereotypes, outside of the norm. Another thing that people do often when it comes to travel, and that can be a part of your level up, is people sometimes do trips when they're really getting serious with somebody. They'll say, oh, well, I haven't traveled with them yet. It's two things that they usually say. I haven't lived with them yet, or I haven't traveled with them yet. The reason why those two things are kind of similar is because when you travel, similarly to how when you live with somebody, when you travel with them, that's when you really see who they are and what they're really bringing to the table, how they're able to roll with the punches, how they're able to adapt to new circumstances when they're not the man in the city, or when they're not the woman in the city, or when they don't know every little in and out and they're learning and on their toes and almost like a kid again. And so that's an interesting part about travel, and how it can show you how much you've actually leveled up, is how you're able to roll with the punches when you're in a situation that is outside of the norm, that's outside of your familiar. You know what I mean? And it will show you a lot about a person, how they behave and how they move when they're figuring everything out on the fly. You know what I mean? And so again, as I said earlier, in the last broadcast, it'll reflect to you where you are currently in your path. You might not be able to see that when you're still in your same place where you could get to Publix, or when you can get to the supermarket, or when you can get to the gym with your eyes closed. You know exactly how to get there. You don't even have to think about it. You open your eyes and all of a sudden you're there. You know what I mean? When you're outside of that circumstance, when you actually you have to pay attention to every light and every moment and every street and every turn and every food and everything like that. It makes you super present in the moment. It makes you super present in that moment. And it can show you some things about yourself, about who you are now, that you would not have seen if you were in zombie mode of just get there, do this, get there, do that, get there, do this, get there, do that, like we are in our day-to-day. So that's another reason why travel is a major part of your level up. Do me a favor, if y'all could smash the like button. I know our last feed, we had our likes on there, but if you could do it again for the dog, I would so appreciate the love. Free and easy way to support the content, to support the channel. Also, make sure you're subscribed. This is week 46 of our Friday Night Kickbacks, where we go live each and every Friday night to talk about the topics you guys selected. Tonight, you guys selected to talk about travel, which was perfect because this whole week I have been dropping travel content from the road trip I did with the bestie across the Western United States. So make sure you guys are watching the travel content. Don't sleep on my travel content. Do not, when I tell you the editing is top tier, you watch it and you tell me, but I promise you that editing is top tier. Okay, so don't sleep on the travel content. And so it was perfect that you guys wanted to talk travel this week, because we definitely dropped all of our travel content from our road trip across the Western United States, and also our travel video course, Travel Alchemy Masterclass, where I don't even know what to say. Check the description box below if you're interested. If you have a little curiosity to know what we're talking about there, check the description box below and you'll learn all you need to know about that new course. But just know that it has been a labor of love that I am so extremely proud to bring to y'all. And I know that you guys are gonna love it. I know that y'all are just gonna love it. So anyway, that is what you're saying there. Okay, I see y'all in the comments. Thank you guys so much. So, okay, so we talked about ushering in a new paradigm, seeing yourself outside of the stereotypes, outside of your norm, dating and traveling, and how you really get to see who a person is when they travel, how flexible they are. Are they able to think on their feet? Are they able to be like present in the moment, super present in the moment, seeing 11:11 on this clock, if you're into numbers like I am, and how they can move when they are not the big fish, you know, in a little pond anymore. Now you the little fish in the big pond. How good are you at swimming now? You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see people's true characters when they are in different circumstances, when they travel. And that will really show you where you are on your level up path. Yeah? Cheers. Clink, clink. Okay. Okay. So I also have bring back excitement to your life, the passion to your life, freedom, liberty, and curiosity and intuitive nudges. So I will say this. For me, travel was the only thing that made me feel like, oh, this is what life was supposed to be. Everything else that we were told to do as an adult just felt so incredibly boring and uninspired to me. I was just like, oh my God, this can't be it. This cannot, first of all, this can't be it. This going to work every day and then coming home and then just dealing with problems every day. Is this it? Is this all adulthood is about? Unless you have a husband or a wife or some kids or something like that, my God, it could really run you into the ground. And I remember thinking like, look, there has to be something more to life than this. This can't be it. First of all, I did everything the people them said I was supposed to do. Got all the degrees, did all the internships, got all the jobs, did everything the people them said they did, and I'm still not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. This sucks. And is it just me? Am I naive, or is everybody here pretending? Is all of y'all happy? Like I was at work, like wondering, are these people really happy? Like this sucks. You know what I mean? And I found that most people just resign themselves to, oh, this is it. But I personally couldn't do that. Curiosity, you know, being curious is one of my biggest assets. It's one of the ways that I describe myself the most, is kind of curious and kind of adventurous. But even if you're not, even if you don't find yourself to be particularly curious or particularly adventurous, this may still resonate with you. And why I say that is that I was like, okay, life, I just felt like this, I did all that struggling and striving to get, you know, to go up the ladder and try to get out of my parents' house and go to college and do all this. And now I'm working, and I'm, you know, working for 5 years and 7 years. And after I'd worked for like 7 years, I was like, I got it. This ain't it. This ain't it. And so as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next, travel became the thing that kept, almost like a sonar or a ray, one of them sonar, those beacons, boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, oh, it's travel. Oh, travel. Okay, travel. And when I started to travel, I was like a kid in a candy store. And I was like, oh, this is what, okay, so this is one of the things that makes life more sweet, more juicy, more interesting. It breaks me out of old ideas and areas and groups of people and ways of being and, and all of that, and brings me into a completely other circumstance where I could see, oh, over here, they don't work 40 hours a week, or they don't work 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week. They work 30 and they're able to survive. Imagine that. Over here, every other person doesn't have a gun on their hip, and shooting up the place is uncommon. I think I like that better than what I'm made to believe is normal from where I'm from. Oh, Black women are creme de la creme, top tier over here. The ones they're pushing women out of the way to get to. The darker, the better. I think I like that better than what I'm made to believe is normal over there. So it just puts travel just puts in front of you a bigger, broader palette of opportunities that you can choose from. And it liberates you from the bondage, the tyranny of the American perspective of who you are and how you must live. If you don't live in America and you live in Australia, travel will liberate you from the tyranny and the bondage of the Australian way of living, or the Nigerian way of living, or the English way of living, or the Chinese way of living. You are just liberated from the one ideology that has been conditioned into you. And so if you are somebody that is truly seeking liberation and excitement and passion and freedom and vitality in your life, travel is a major part of that. Don't just see it as something frivolous or something, luxurious, or, oh my God, you have to have so much money to travel. You got to have so much money to travel. You don't need all that money. You don't need all that money. As I said before, you ain't got to get on a plane to travel. You could do a road trip. I got 3 videos on the channel right now. That's a road trip. You know what I mean? And so it's just about breaking yourself free from the old way of living and doing and perceiving, and giving yourself more opportunity to pick and choose from all that life has to offer you. Not just what was put in front of you at birth. Not just what was put in front of you because that's what your parents had access to. The 1, 2, 3 things that your parents had access to. Not just that. Giving yourself more opportunity, giving yourself more experience, giving yourself more connectedness, giving yourself more liberty and freedom and passion and joy and thrill and curiosity in life. Afford yourself that. Afford yourself that. And if it's a little bit of an investment, then so be it. Then so be it. But investments appreciate. You invest in yourself because there is going to be appreciation there, meaning that it's going to go up in value. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I have to say about travel, and how travel is a major part of your level up. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. This is week 46 of our Friday Night Kickbacks, where we go live each and every Friday night to talk about the topics you guys selected. Luckily, this week you guys selected talking about travel, which was chef's kiss, perfect alignment because of the travel content that I've been dropping this week, and because the drop of Travel Alchemy Masterclass. All the details are in the description box below. Check that out. Drop me any comments,